Yo, once again, his own. Back at you one more again. Real Ken's TV and the House Like Kitchen Sinks. You know, oftentimes people ask me, they say, Ken's, how was it your first night in prison? I mean, how did you actually feel like being in prison the first actual night? I'm going to do you one better. I'm going to tell you about my first 2 nights in prison. We're going to take this thing all the way back to 2013. I was at the Green River Correctional Complex. Forget what city it's in, but you can Google it. It's a level 3 yard, medium security. And it was a lot going on the yard. You know, when I first got down there, I wasn't aware, but there's a whole lot of stabbings and just, it was a whole lot of violence going on the yard. None of that activity I partook in, but nevertheless, it was what it was. It's not like you can say, you know what, it's too much violence going on this yard. Get me out of here. Nah, prison doesn't quite work like that, my friend. And so when you leave the Rotary Farm, now for you all that's never heard me speak about the Rotary Farm, basically the Rotary Farm is where you go you get processed. So like you leave the county jail, they send you to the Rotary Farm. They're going to do a physical exam, a mental evaluation on you. They're going to classify you, look at your charges, look at your past crimes, history, or what have you. And based upon all of those things, they'll classify you. Once they classify you, they decide, okay, you're going to go to a level 1 yard, 2, 3, 4. That's basically how it works. I ended up getting classified somehow to be sent behind the fence with the lions, tigers, goons, gorillas, hyenas, and bears. Once again, I found myself behind the fence, and I'm like, how's a white-collar criminal consistently being sent behind the fence? Then I have to go sit behind the fence 6 months, 9 months, maybe a year, get my custody score down, and then I end up in a camp. Y'all jump in the comments and let me know where you're chiming in from. I'm in Lexington, Kentucky. And so we leaving the Rotary Farm. The Rotary Farm, they wake you up at about, they usually come through at about 3:30 in the morning. They tap, your bed or whatever. It's 100 people in the dorm. They do Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Everybody's trying to get out of the Rotary Farm. See, the Rotary Farm is much better than the county jail, but you're trying to actually get to prison. I know it sounds cliche. I know it sounds crazy. Hold on, Ken, you're trying to get to prison? Yes, you're trying to get to prison. Because the Rotary Farm, you lock down 23 hours a day, although you're in one big dorm, it's 100 people, so it's many people to mingle with. You got 3 or 4 phones, you got 10-man showers, 10, 12-man showers. You got a couple microwaves. It's something to always do. They bring the games in there, the board games, so you can play Monopoly and, Scrabble and dominoes and things like that. 9 o'clock, lights off, they come and take the games. Get 1 hour a day out for rec. It's a lot better than the county, but you're ready to get to that penitentiary so you can really, really start your bid. If you got some money or some people's going to send you some money from the streets, get your own TV, get you some tennis shoes, get you some sweatsuits, a cooler where you can keep your food, cold. Get your MP3 player. It used to be CD players, but you get your MP3 player or radio, contact visits, you can get a haircut, because they have barbershops in the penitentiary. It's just so much, I was going to say more better. It's just better in the penitentiary. So as I mentioned, they come get you 3 o'clock in the morning, 3:30 in the morning, whatever. That whole process takes a couple hours or whatnot. Now, Green River was about 3.5, 4 hours away from, the Rotary Farm, a.k.a. the fish tank. That's a long ride in that black box. See, they give you, it's called a black box. And basically, it's another thing that you all that are not familiar, you may want to Google it. Basically, your hands are like this, and there's this black box, and you literally cannot move. Your hands are like this the entire day. It's down by your waist. Even if you have to go to the restroom, they're not going to allow you out of that black box. So they're going to tell you, if you got to go to the restroom, if you got to do anything, go ahead and do it prior to getting on this Gray Goose. The Gray Goose is the bus. Like you see in the movies, the prison bus, and they riding down the country roads, and you hear the country music in the background or whatever. They call it the Gray Goose in Kentucky. Better get everything done that you need to get done, because once you on here, it's a wrap. That black box, man, I tell you what, man, that thing it's very, very unethical, and that thing should be illegal. And what's so crazy, the black box was designed by an inmate. Bootlicking trustee ass inmates, man. You know what I mean? Doing the most on the streets, doing everything you can do to beat the law and to break the law on the streets, just to go into prison and do a whole lot of tap dancing. Yes, sir, no, sir, Mrs. Johnson. You know, a whole lot of that. Around here, we don't need no gun line. I'm sorry, let's rewind that. We're going to do the manual rewind like Hassan Campbell stole from me. Around here, we don't need no fence. Tell them about the gun line, boss. We got ourselves what we like to call the gun line. The gun line, you got the gun line. Yeah, I mean, one of those type of trustees, you know. He's the one that invented the black box. Nevertheless, you finally get there. You're tired. You're relieved that they take this black box off of you. You get off the bus. Everybody's looking at you. They trying to see if it's somebody from their hood, they gang, they set, they city or whatever. So they looking. Can be very, very intimidating. You know, people, you know, looking. Now, at this particular time, it wasn't intimidating for me because, unfortunately, this was my third time in prison. 3-time loser, man. So this is my third time around. I get off the bus. A couple people know me or whatever. But a lot of people didn't know me. It feels as though Green River was like one of those spots 3.5, 4 hours away from where I'm from, as though you go there and you just get lost in the sauce, lost in the system. Yeah, I seen a couple people I knew, but I would have thought that I'd, you know, would have known more people than that. The people that I seen, they had been locked up 14, 15, 16 years. Hadn't seen them, hadn't heard a peep from them. Man, I see why. This is 3.5, 4 hours away, and you've been locked up for an astronomical amount of time. So yeah, I see why I haven't seen you, you know, in many years. So then once you get off the Grey Goose, you go into R&D. You go into R&D. That's where you go. You get processed. They give you uniforms and things like. Actually, you don't go into R&D. You go into another room they have set up, and they're gonna evaluate and go through all your property and make sure that you don't have anything that you're not supposed to have. Typically, it's R&D, but here you didn't go in R&D, so they go through all your stuff. Make sure you know certain things that you can't have. So although you may have been able to have it at the prior prison, at this prison you may not be able to have. Ironically, I had a bottle of baby oil that I snuck in. No, not for those, you know, no diddy, not for those purposes. But the baby oil was used, like, I used to mix it with my lotion or whatever, and, you know, and you know, get out of the shower, put my lotion on or whatever, because they sell, like, a real cheap lotion in prison, so I would cut it with the baby oil. Plus, baby oil is a weapon in prison. Somebody get wrong with you, and, you know, you don't want to go there, so I'm not recommending this to anybody, but somebody get wrong with you, take that hot pot or the microwave, you boil that water till it gets to boiling point, put that baby oil in there. Somebody want to get wrong. What's up, man, huh? What's up, man? Let me holler at you real quick. Splash. Again, I'm not condoning any sort of violence whatsoever, but you would never allow anybody to disrespect you, especially if they're trying to take your manhood or something of the sorts, if you will, in prison. So I like to keep that baby oil, and I was able to actually sneak it in. And it was a time to where I almost had to use that baby oil, and I've talked about it. And so, you know, they're going through all of our property. It's taking a long time. You know, they're bringing us the sack lunches. You know, they give you a couple bologna sandwiches, an apple, a cookie, no chips or anything like that. That's your lunch and the juice. Everybody at this point, you know, you just ready to go to the cell, your pod, or whatever they're going to send you to your dorm so you can get settled in. When you first go to Green River, it was my first time being in Green River. Third time being in prison, but it was my first time being in Green River. They send you to a temporary dorm. A temporary dorm, yeah, they send you to a temporary dorm. You might sit in there for 2 or 3 days before you go to your permanent dorm. It was like, all right, cool. Me and the dude, you know, that I got cool with, we ended up getting into a fight, and he was the dude that I was gonna use the baby oil on. As far as hold up. No. Pause, double pause, triple pause, infinite pause. Matter of fact, I shouldn't even said that. When I say use the baby oil on, what I had meant was we got into it. Dude was about 6'6", he about 6'7". 260, 265. Dude was a gorilla. He didn't like my partner that we was walking the track and one word led to the next. He didn't really like my partner, but him and I were tight. I came around the track because he had walked off, so we had completed the track. In penitentiary, the tracks are huge, at least at Green River it is. Any of y'all ever been to Green River, you can attest to what I'm saying. So by the time I walk all the way back around to like the beginning of the track, they got like a little area outside. Dudes is outside playing dominoes, playing poker. They got the picnic, well, not the picnic tables, but actually they were picnic tables. So you got the tables, and nevertheless, people, wrecking, call it wrecking, playing cards, doing whatever they doing, sitting back, just kicking it or whatever. Dude done took his shirt off, and he was like, man, they call me Lex in the pen. Lex, I will hurt you. I will hurt you, Lex. Now, this wasn't my first night in prison, but since I mentioned the baby oil, I feel compelled to tell you why I said I used the baby oil on him. I will hurt you, Lex. I'm just standing there. Me and my dude, Sam, we standing there. Now, Sam was like, well, shoot, man, if he runs over here, we just gonna jump him. Again, my dude, 6'7", we're gonna call him the MMA fighter. Why? Because on the streets, he was legally a pro MMA fighter. Now, he wasn't like Conor McGregor or John Jones or nobody like that, but he had just done enough to turn pro. Hands was registered. He's walking over towards us, so my dude Sam, man, we gonna jump him if he comes over here. Dude's walking up, ultra aggressive. Like I said, this dude's 6'7", man, about 260, 265, and is a beast, a monster. He wasn't real like cut up or whatever. He was just a big dude, man. You know what I'm saying? Like just a big, strong dude. Now, he had 15 years. He had beat this girl, damn near killed her. He lucky he didn't get a life sentence. He was kicking him with a white woman. And she was older. She tried to leave him. He broke her ribs. He busted her, fractured her skull. He did all type of damage. And somehow, some way, he goes to trial, and the jury only gives him 15 years, a regular 15, not 85%. 15 years is where he does 20% to the parole board, which is 3 years, and then he has an opportunity to get out. So dude had I guess, violent tendencies. But him and I, we were just cool, man. He's charging me. He's walking towards me. I'm like, oh, my God. But, I got to remain calm. As soon as he gets within swinging distance. Now, you got to realize, this dude is not 5'11". This dude is 6'7". I ain't nothing but 5'11". I'm really not even 5'11", but guess what? I'm going to act as though, I'm going to pretend like I'm 5'11" at this particular juncture, if you will. Dude's walking towards me. Big dogs, he's stomping. Boom, 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 boom. I'm like, oh my God, no fear though. I couldn't have no fear. I got the man up, nigga. Huh? What Denzel saying that training day? Man up, nigga. So he's walking towards me, trying to paint a picture for you all. I get my feet together. You know what I mean? When I say get my feet together, I'm knowing, okay, I already know that he's right-handed. So I know that when I throw this punch, I'm coming from a certain angle or whatever. Soon as he gets remotely close to me, I kind of step to the side, like I step to the right a little bit. And when I step to the right, I cock back. And when I cock, I swing. To no avail. Didn't even remotely get close. I mean, I got a little close, but his arms is so much longer than mine. How am I gonna, I couldn't get that close to him, but I got close enough, and I swung and I missed, and pow! Man, he hit me out of the Tweety birds. I heard the Tweety birds, man. I go down. When he hits me, like I'm dazed. Like I'm literally dazed. I go down to like one knee. He's kind of not directly over top of me, but he's close enough. Man, dude could have caused collateral damage. He could have, F my whole world up. You know what I mean? He could have kneed me. MMA fight, he could have kneed me. I'm already down on my knee. Like, he could have kneed me in my face. He could have just punished me. Sam's punk ass didn't do nothing. Didn't do a bitch ass thing. He's the main one talking about we gonna jump him. He's the main one that got me into it because the MMA fighter didn't like Sam. Nothing. So, man, I'm dazed. I don't know, man. Maybe God was with me that day. Well, God's always with me. But that day, he was really, really with me because the MMA fighter turns around and walks in the dorm. He walks off. Perhaps it was the guilt, maybe because he knew him and I had been cool, but like the MMA fighter, he would have like mood swings. You see that a lot in prison. That's why a lot of times you say don't play with people in prison, because you may play today, and guess what? Tomorrow, you thinking that everything's still all good because you all been playing all week long, and that person wakes up on the wrong side of the bed, or the visit don't show up, or the girl broke up with him, or don't answer the phone, or they got a bad letter, or didn't get a money order, whatever the case may be. Money orders for commissary. You don't get no commissary. Oh, man, you're not going to be very happy. So that's why you don't play in prison, man. You don't play with people. Dude walks off or whatever. I come to Sam, he's helping me up. Man, you all right? A couple other people. Man, you good? Man, you good? People kind of respected me because they seen that I, when I swung, I wasn't swinging like that. I sidestep, cocked that mug back. But I couldn't hit him. He was so, he's way taller than me. I go in my cell. Keep in mind, my cellie, mind you, rather. I'm not going to say keep in mind because I didn't tell you all. Mind you, my cellie got a life sentence. Literally a life sentence. He's 2 years younger than me. We from the same city. They had just put him in the cell maybe about 3 weeks prior to this happening. He didn't really say too much to me, man. Sit there, watch this TV all day. That's back when the George Zimmerman trial was going on. And he would just sit there all day and watch that. And when he did talk, that's all he wanted to talk about, George Zimmerman. Sit there and eat chicken and fried potatoes and meatloaf and whatever, burgers all in my face. Didn't never offer me nothing. Not saying that he had to. He didn't have to offer me anything. I ain't have anything at the time. But my money soon hit. But at that particular moment, I didn't have anything. See, my people, they were kind of punishing me. Okay, you want to keep going back and forth to prison? You must like it in there. So guess what? We ain't sending you nothing. And they all kind of like had an intervention. And without me there, and they ain't sent me nothing. I'm in there just with nothing, man. It was messed around for a second. But, they found me. But I go up to the cell. I said, hey, bro, let me see this motherfucking hot pot, man. He's like, go ahead. I think at that time, like, I had some commissary. They had sent me a couple $100, so I had commissary. Let me see his hot pot. Hot pot is just basically what it sounds like. Put some water in it, turn it on, it's plastic, heats up the water. You don't got to go to the microwave or whatever if you really know how to use a hot pot. So I grabbed my baby oil that I had in my locker. He sees me about to put it in. What you you on, bro? What you gonna do? Because I had put it I had dumped the water from the hot pot into like a bowl. Now I'm going to put that baby oil in there. I tell him the situation that I just told you all what happened. Man, give me this, man. Before you find yourself in here with me. Well, you're already in here with me, but before you find yourself in here with a life sentence like me. Now, he had life, but he had the life to where he was going up for parole. So he will eventually get out. Shout out to my dog, Eric, man. Eric Gill, man. Y'all want to look him up, man. Kentucky Department of Corrections, KOOL. It's Kentucky Online Offender Lookup. Eric Gill, man. And so, I tell him what happened or whatever. There's better ways. Don't do it, man. Don't you know they'll give you an assault charge and you're going to get an additional 10, 15 years and where you're going to do 85%? Nah, you ain't got to do all of that, man. So he talks me off the ledge or whatever. Dude ends up knocking on the door. I got a couple pins I had snuck in. In prison, they give you them little flimsy pins that are maybe, 2.5, 3 inches. But I had like some real pins I had snuck in. So I kept 2 pins on me. I'm like, man, dude run up on me. I'm going to stick him right in his neck, his eye, and I'm not going to stop, man. You know what I mean? Survival to the finish. Dog eat dog, man. You a man or you a mouse in prison. Far from a tough guy. Not trying to proclaim myself to be some tough guy, but I am an individual that's going to be forthcoming. I'm going to stand up for myself. And, I'm just a stand-up dude, man. Win or lose. I lost plenty of fights, man. Won plenty, lost plenty. It happens, man. but I've never been a pushover. I'm always going to protect myself. Dude ends up coming back, apologizing or whatever. And, you know, it was never the same after that. I always watched him because I never knew when he was going to bloop. He would just have mood swings. Cool one day, a couple days later, he's not. Once again, you're going to see that in prison. You're going to see that in prison. Now, I haven't really gotten too far off topic for the simple fact that there was we hadn't been in prison that long when that happened. It just wasn't the first night. So we're going to go back to the actual first night when the temporary dorm, they tell me you're going to dorm. Let's just say it's just not the dorm. I just don't remember what the dorm was. So I'm going to just say, you're going to D dorm. You know what I mean? So motherfuckers that been to Green River, man, wasn't no motherfucking D dorm, kids. I don't remember what dorm it was, okay? Simmer down. Send me the D dorm or whatever. They got cells. Okay, 2-man cells. I go in the cell. I'm in the cell. Probably 10 minutes later, my cell mate comes through. Because I know it's 2 bunks, so obviously I'm not going to be in here by myself 9 times out of 10. Because although we were the ones that were coming that day from the Rotary Farm, there were other individuals coming from other places just as well. Oh my God, they send me in the cell, man. I'm in the cell getting my bed together, whatever. You know, whenever you go to prison or jail, whatever, you get you a spray bottle, disinfectant or whatever, spray everything down, wipe everything down, make sure everything, you know, is good and clean. You check your mats, make sure there ain't no shanks, make sure there ain't no drugs or phones or whatever in the mats or your pillows, or actually you don't get no pillow in prison, or some prisons you don't. We didn't there. But, you know, you just check the area. You canvass the area to make sure there's nothing there that shouldn't be there, because guess what? If it is, that whole I didn't know. Nah, it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. It's yours. So you check everything. So I'm getting everything together, putting my stuff up in the, you know, the lock. I'm not really putting much stuff up because I know it's a temporary dorm. I'm not gonna be there. Man, dude walks in the cell, man. Oh my God. Now I knew him. I didn't know him, but he came from the Rotary Farm with me, and we were in the same dorm, same base, same cell, however you want to put it. Rotary Farm, man. Transaction, man. Transgender. They put him in the cell with me. They put the transgender in the cell with me. First of all, I want to say I have absolutely nothing against trans genders. I have nothing against people that are gay, people that are zesty, people that like the same sex, however you want to put it. Absolutely not. I have people in my family. I know people that I'm cool with. But a lot of people there, they have I don't know, a phobia or something like that. Oh, man, them people ain't say, they know that you don't swing that way, so they're not even going to say anything to you of the sorts. They're not even going to come at you like that because they know that you don't swing that way. But you got a lot of dudes, man, they have a phobia. Nevertheless, man, they got them in the cell with me. I'm like, oh, my God, this is crazy, man. So you have content creators that I've seen on here, nobody in particular, but you'll hear dudes and they'll be like, oh, it couldn't have been me. Man, if it had been me, man, they just would have had to take me to the hole. They would have. You don't run nothing in prison. Unless you know somebody, you cool with the whoever's on as far as the CO or the sergeant or the lieutenant, or, hey, bro, come on, man. You know how this looks. You can't put them in the cell with me or whatever. It's a temporary dorm, though. You see what I'm saying? I don't got no clout. I don't have any sort of pool on the yard, which I wouldn't have had anyway, man. I don't fool with them police, man, on the yard. Just me. I don't. So when you hear dudes say, man, no, man, they wouldn't have done it to me. Yes, they would have. And if you didn't like it, you're gonna go to the hole with a major write-up for I don't know, probably disobeying a direct order. They're gonna stack the write-up. So let's just say you trying to go home, you trying to make parole or whatever, you're not trying to really have no write-ups or whatever. So you know that it's only temporary. Okay, I can see if it was full-time. If it's full-time, nah, hell no. I knew maybe a night or two. Like I said, I already was familiar with him from being with him at the Rotary Farm. Dude was cool, man. Dude was cool, like, didn't bother nobody. He wasn't. So I'm sitting in a cell. For some reason, they got me on the, I never really understood that because I was on the top bunk. He younger than me. Typically, if you younger, you go on the bottom bunk, but they had me on the top bunk. I'm sitting there. I ain't got no food in my locker. I am starving, man. I'm talking about, I'm starving. In penitentiary, you might eat at 4:30 at Green River, 4:30. You're not going to eat again until 6 o'clock in the morning. I am starving, man. He got all type of food, man. He's making sandwiches and all type of stuff, eating chips or whatever. And you want some of this, man? The stubbornness in me. Nah, I'm good, man. You sure? Nah, I'm cool. Stomach growling like a motherfucker, man. I'm like, oh my God, man. I make it through the night. Get up, go eat breakfast. One thing about Green River, the food is decent. You know, it's not gourmet kitchen or anything like that, man, you know, but the food is decent and they give you decent portions. Get up, go eat breakfast or whatever. But you don't have to stay in the cell all day long. Actually, you get a lot of yard time when I really reflect back. But now I'm starting to wonder, like, man, I wonder how people are looking at me, man. They know that I'm in the cell with dude or whatever. And you're going to have some people that's envious because you got some dudes, they trying to do whatever they can do to get dude moved into their cell. But at the same time, you got dudes that's looking at me like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got no control over none of this, you know what I'm saying? Fast forward, the yard shuts down or whatever. At Green River, you got to be in your cell. It's something crazy. They don't even have a late night. Late night means like on Friday and Saturday nights, you get to stay out till, 12, 1 o'clock or whatever. Green River, man, 8:45, you're going in your cell for count. If you catch a cool CO that's on, they might open the dorm back up from 9:45 to 10:15. Get in the microwave, make your last little phone calls, do whatever you need to do, and you're going back in your cell 7 days a week. Miserable. If you ain't got no TV, I ain't no TV or nothing. Miserable. I'm in the cell second night. Stomach growling, rumbling. I think he hurt. He's in the cell. He done doctored something up in the microwave. He done fixed some shit. He got the Doritos out here. Man, you want some of this shit? That's how they talk. You want some of this shit? When I say they, I'm just saying people in prison. They not going to be like, yeah, would you like some chicken and potatoes and some Doritos? Man, you want some of this shit, man? My nigga, you want some of this shit? You try, nah, I'm cool, man. I'm sitting there. You want some of this shit? As I mentioned, nah, I'm cool, man. I'm cool. Smelling good. Got the Doritos. They made a turkey sandwich. Got the cheese, the mayonnaise, the hot sauce. Yeah, he had all that stuff that he brought from the rotary farm with him. I ain't have shit. Got the potatoes. Oh, man, the Kool-Aid. It asked me, you sure, man? No, I'm cool, man. I'm sitting there on the top bunk like, oh, my God. In my mind, oh, it smells so good, man. That smells so good. They always tell you in prison, don't accept anything. Don't give out anything to anyone in prison or whatever. Just say no. You don't want to run into a Big Rufus. Big Rufus give you them cakes, honey buns, zoom zooms, wham whams. You get your money finally hits. You done borrowed $15, $20 from Big Rufus. You thinking you got to give him, $25, $30, $40 back. Big Rufus, you go in the cell. Big Rufus, yeah, come on in. Big Rufus is a gorilla, man. He's a gorilla, man. 6'2", 6'3", 230, 240. Big dude, been locked up 17, 18 years, just 6, 7 days a week. He's working out 3 times a day. He's a straight gorilla, man. But he's a bandit. He's a booty bandit. Just does it the smooth way. At least that's how he comes off the smooth. He uses his size as intimidation factor. Forearms look like Popeye, Sailor Man. Yeah, Big Rufus, everything is the cakes. Oh, Big Rufus don't want them type of cakes. Hold on, Big Rufus, what you mean? There's the cakes that no, Big Rufus won't. We need the other type of cakes. It ain't the type of cakes that I'm talking about. Now you in the cell with Big Rufus, can't really go nowhere because if you try to run, he gonna grab you. So you better be ready to just really fight to the death, man. You know what I mean? Fight for your life. I done already told a couple stories. Matter of fact, I just told a story about Big Rufus a couple days ago. But I want these youngsters to understand Big Rufus, Fleece Johnson's, what's dude's name that was on the documentary? Y'all jump in the comments. He's on the Dante Show Network, and he's a booty bandit, and he was talking about they grape people and Lamarck Moore. That's his name, Lamarck Moore. It's his real in prison. He was on, if y'all not familiar with the documentary he did, go check it out. Go check it out and see some of the things that he was saying. Now he wants to come back and be like, oh, no, I was just saying those things for TV, and they promised me this, and they promised me that. Ain't no straight man going to get on TV and say the things that he was saying, man. And he still ended up doing 19 years. But nevertheless, man, those are some of the things that you deal with in prison. I'm sitting there at the top, the top bunk. Now, obviously, I knew that dude wasn't no Fleece Johnson. I knew that dude wasn't no Lamarck Moore. I knew that dude wasn't no Big Rufus. But yet the mentality of don't ask anybody for anything. Unless they just somebody that you really, really feel comfortable with, you cool with or whatever. Asked me a couple times, you sure you don't want none of this shit? He didn't ask me for a while after that. I said, if he asks me again, man, I got to eat, man. I'm starving. I say something, hitting. Man, what you got there? Dang. She done docked it up. You always cooking something, man. Even at the Rotary Farm, you was cooking something. I try to ask you, did you want some of this shit? Man, give me some of them motherfucking Doritos, man. Oh, man, I sit in and I ate. And, you know what I'm saying? We end up talking or whatever, man. Nothing crazy, you know what I'm saying? You in a cell with somebody, man. Wasn't nothing crazy, nothing out of the app. He was just telling me some of the crimes that he had did on the streets and how he got in there and next night they ended up sending me, because like his people really looked out for him. So he'd go to the store and spend $100 every single week, big bags, coming back from the store with big bags, man. They give you like these little net bags, like the laundry bags, and you put your commissary in them. So when you go to the store, everything that you ordered goes into the bag, and you walk back to the dorm, and everybody sees you. So they evaluate, like, okay, they know who goes to the store on a regular basis. Man, that food tasted so good that night, man. And I had people, when I initially told this story, I wouldn't have took nothing from him. I wouldn't have. Why? That man never did nothing to me, never said anything crazy to me, never got out of bounds with me whatsoever. So why not? He's a human being just like everybody else. He just likes what he like. We like what we like. Can't just go around here judging and knocking people for what they, it's not for me to like or dislike or to condone or not condone. It's not, I'm not God. I'm not, who am I? I sin just as well. Just my sins are just in other areas. But nevertheless, that was really my first 2 nights. I might title this my first 2 nights in prison. Most people tell you about their first night. I'm going to tell you, well, I did tell you, my first 2 nights in prison, man. You know what I mean? I know my stomach was growling. You all know how it feels to where your ribs is touching your back. Your ribs is touching, man. You're starving, man. And that was just one of them nights. Penitentiary, man, you might eat at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. Then, at least at Green River, this was their schedule, but they're all relatively close in comparison. Come back at about 11:15, 11:30, maybe somewhere right around in there, between 11 and 11:30, you eat lunch. Then you come back and you eat dinner, 4:15. Then you don't eat lunch again until 6 o'clock in the morning, 6:15. And that's just what time they start serving you. You might be in line for a while before you actually get your tray and able to sit down and eat. That's a long time between 4:15, 4:30 p.m. and 6:15, 6:30 a.m. Was that 14 hours? That's a long, long time. Just what it was, man. You know what I mean? Now, I know a lot of people, I'm typically 30 minutes or better. But Kens, you didn't do your intro as far as, the 30 minutes or better, because I didn't intend for this video to be 30 minutes. This was supposed to be like a quick snippet, if you will. You know what I mean? Something for you all to listen to. People just working third shift, the truck drivers, the medical delivery drivers, people, in the factories, hospitals, the medical workers, healthcare workers, just anybody. 12, 16-hour shifts, 8-hour shifts, or what have you. Everybody tells me, well, not literally everybody, but a lot of people tell me, hey, kids, man, your videos really, really helped me get through my shift. So I was just going to do like a couple 10-minute videos, 15-minute videos, end up being 30 minutes or better. I guess you can't help who you are. You know what I mean? But hopefully you like the video. Feel free to comment, definitely share, subscribe to the Chiz Animal if you're not already subscribed. Be sure to hit that post notifications. Anytime I bring you this action and this heat, guess what? You're amongst the first to receive. I might end up uploading another video for you all. I might do 2 or 3 videos tonight. I don't know. Maybe I will. And maybe I won't. As I mentioned, I sit in the cell for 2 nights. The next night, they ended up sending me to my permanent dorm. He went to his permanent dorm. It was a totally different dorm. And, you know, when I seen him, I rarely seen him out on the yard. But when I did see him, yeah, what up? You know, it wasn't no long conversations or anything like that. But what up, man? Anybody that extends a hand to you, olive branch or whatever, don't matter, man, if their sexuality is different from yours. You know what I mean? As long as you know that you like what you like, man, it's going to be all good, man. Real Kens TV.